but it's really frowned upon in wineries, especially around red wines. Even though some of the best red wines in the world from France, the French houses, they have found there's touches of Brett, which gives a complexity. There's different types of Brettanomyces, Lambicus and whatnot, and they're all a little different. And some of them can put in these fruity notes, and some give the barnyard. I mean, like, bad taste, horse blanket, mousy, and some of them can express themselves just like I say, fruity. Years ago, I did some trials on 4 different species of Brettanomyces in carboys in another building away from my facility, and
probably
it's
smart.
Very slow. yeah, it's very slow fermenting. That's what I found. It's not like Saccharomyces. It takes time. I think the beer people, they use it. It's in conjunction with the farmhouse style. It has Brettanomyces, lactobacillus, which creates the sours and beers and meads, and Pediococcus, Pediococcus is a spoilage organism in the beer world. It's really bad. It can cause ropiness, and I actually, at one point, I bought some lactobacillus from a lab, and I won't say which one. It's one in the Midwest, and I had it in some honey must, and I opened it. It was like a howler, and the whole thing was like snotty, ropey, and it was contaminated with Pediococcus and create the ropiness.
Ew.
So when it can be a slippery slope. You got to be careful. And what I found is the Brettanomyces is very slow. So I think it's almost everywhere. It comes in on grapes. It's all around us. But if I kept my starter for too long, it doesn't take a whole lot. Over a couple months, I got the Brettanomyces would actually grow, and it would show on the lab results. But if I took that same starter, which I did, and I had that pulled out and restarted it in some honey must, there were almost 0 Brettanomyces from the lab in that sample from the same tank. If you follow what I'm trying to say here, it's my storage container got a contamination that was apparent. It was pretty big. But if you take that same sample and pull it out and start some fresh must, the Brettanomyces wouldn't do anything. The lactobacillus would take off like a rocket.
Huh.
So yeah, I've spent a lot of time with microbiologists, University of Minnesota, and a few others, but none of them have experience. The people I talk to they're all lab people, and they didn't have the experience with mead. And the beer people, I haven't spent much time with yet, but some of them are using like Lactobacillus brevis or Plantarum and souring their beers. Now that's just another whole. Have you drank the sour beers, you guys? Like the.
Me, definitely not. We
Have
can barely get good mead here, let alone sours.
I like sour beers. That's it. Sour beers, and I'm a big fan of lambics, and so yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of them are, if they're balanced right, I really like them. But some of them they get too sour. So it's trying to control the sourness to get the right balance. And I guess if it got away from you could always too sour. You could always blend in a non-sour mead and or beer if you were doing sour beers, and once again you could correct a situation and find that balance for your market, for that sweet spot between sweet and sour, and that is the lure of sour mead. you get a very pleasant lactic acid sourness that you can't do. You just can't use lactic acid out of a bottle. It won't work. You have to actually have the process to make it in conjunction with Saccharomyces.
Assuming that you have
it's a bit like adding alcohol to honey. It's not actually mead, and it doesn't taste the same. You actually get to brew it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's out of balance. Yeah.
So, assuming that you have a good colony to start with, how easily can you duplicate your efforts batch after batch?
So far, pretty good. They're not always the same strength. It's trial and error, trying to get that balance. You have to find the right yeast that works with your honey and your temperatures, and it's kind of trial and error. But anyone could try it on a small scale. I've heard Sergio did one, and he at some point he was working on something.
Half Frank Goldbeck's, half Frank Goldbeck's stock is Frank. Sours, yeah.
We're doing. I've got some really solid. I got 3 very solid sours. One of them's a blackberry. We call it Black Madonna.
That was good.
I've got a sour ginger, and it's very big ginger.
Yeah, it was very
bold.
It was like in your face ginger. I liked it, but I liked the blackberry better. And I'm one of those people that drinks a ginger ale that knocks you on your ass. But and I liked it, but the blackberry was more fun, I thought.
Blackberry's real popular.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and I do a raspberry.
And that was good too.
The raspberry you had is very, very slightly sour. The new one that I'm waiting on till we sell out of everything. It's going to be more like the blackberry.
Ooh, really?
It's with much smoother, very nice finish, very good balance between sweet and sour.
Are you guys selling in North Carolina, and will that be up where I can get to it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We are in North Carolina.
Okay, cool.
We're in South Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina.
Okay. Are you also, I forget, are you guys up on Vino Shipper? You're on Vino Shipper, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on Vino Shipper.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool, and I must say, I learned about Vino Shipper on God's Mead.
Of course you did.
Okay. Of course.
I love Vino Shipper. I think they're the bomb diggity, man. I think what they're doing is awesome. For meaderies, it's been the best thing ever.
Well, it's picking up our orders. It's not huge, but I see increased orders, and we also we can sell bling on it now. We can shirts
really?
or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's something new they do. And I can share this with your listening audience.
Uh-huh.
They have a very good wine club.
Vino
template.
Shipper Wine Club. Yeah, I've been trying to get them to set me up as an affiliate so I can just wrap the entire Mead store on Got Mead. So we're working on that. I got to call them back and follow up with them.
Well, while you're there, Vic, talk to them about shipping to Australia.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Canada.
Yeah, I know. It's that whole export-import thing is a pain in the butt, man, because you would think Canada, I mean, it's right there, that if we could at least get it there, then...
Well, what I was hearing from a restaurant or one of the meaderies here is that it's easier for us to ship mead to Japan than it is to sell it in local restaurants.
Oh, okay.
Just because of regulations, so.
Crazy.
That's pretty incredible.
Well, you guys were talking earlier about how there's meaderies popping up left, right, and center all over the place in the States. It's not happening here in Canada because of the way they've got the restrictions on how you have to do it.
Oh, you have to make the honey in Canada.
Yeah, so I got to get big into bees if I want to be a meadery, and I'm not quite sure how I'm expected to be able to afford a startup on when I need 40 acres of bees.
If it was me and I was in Canada, I would partner with a local beekeeper and have him bring the bees to your place if you had a little room. And
the problem is the
honey.
regulations say that the mead has to be made in the honey production facility. Your honey processing facility is also your meadery. So unless I were to rent space there, I don't know if it works that way.
This is sounding like France. With the way they do the oak for the barrels, and they make the mustard and the champagne and so on and so forth. Very strict processes and tradition.
Yeah.
Well, also if you want to have just a fruit winery, you have to prove that you can make all your own fruit, and it's a minimum of 5 acres. So you can't even just say, I've got my backyard making enough stuff I can sell it. It doesn't work that way here.
So you can't pull a Ken Schramm like he did.
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Even if he had, even if his farm was big enough to qualify, he's not doing everything on his property, as I understand, and the property that he's looking for to expand to, that wouldn't work here either.
Yeah. No, his production facility is not on his private property. It's he's got his place, and then he's got where he makes the mead. So yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was quite so restrictive. I knew about and we've talked about the having to have the bees, but I didn't know about all the other stuff.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
So okay, what you need to do is get Kirk to open a Canadian honey processing facility and set you up as the person in charge of it, and then you'll have the honey, and then you'll have the facility, and then you can make mead. There you go.
And Sharon can teach me how to keep bees.
Yeah. There you go.
Brilliant.
Kirk, come on, Kirk. You've got a place in the Panhandle. You got a place in Michigan. The next logical place is Ottawa. Just
invade Canada.
Yeah. Invade Canada.
Hey, yeah. I've been thinking of moving there lately.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
So have a lot of people, enough so that they keep crashing the website.
Yeah, with the whack job in charge, I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe I might just go to Australia and just never leave,
Right.
Visa? What visa? I don't need no stinking visa.
Yeah, except they think their politicians are as bad as yours and ours.
I know. I know they all have their own issues, right? All right, we're not going to talk politics on this show because God knows there's enough of that going on Facebook.
Just mead politics.
Just mead politics, that's right. So, and even that, there's not all that much of it. So, okay, I'm curious. Now, I know you went, to Michigan to do the whole back to the land thing and met Sharon and her teepee and all of that and got into beekeeping. So, before you made your first mead, had you ever tried it at that point? And if so, where did you get it? Never. Okay, so you just kind of fell into it.
Never. Yeah.
Huh.
Just drank beer. I wasn't even a wine drinker per se. Actually, I take that back. Back in high school, it was Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill. On the
oh yeah, you too. Oh my God,
Apple
yeah.
Farm.
Around the fire after my
That brings
parents
back
went to
memories.
bed at the lake, man. We'd lay around the fire pit at the lake and drink Boone's Farm Strawberry Fields forever.
Oh my God.
That stuff was awful, but it was good.
So we're thinking. I've got some orange honey I haven't worked with yet. I'm thinking of doing something with a draft, maybe some orange peel.
Ooh.
Maybe a light. I don't know. Maybe a little spice with a session mead.
Like maybe a
And
little
I'm thinking of
coriander
doing-
or something might be fun.
I'm thinking maybe a 12% still too,
Ooh.
a small amount.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say a 12% session, dude. You're gonna kill people.
No, I'll kill them.
Yeah. Session
I
mead,
usually
yeah,
6
I'll
or
have
7.
4.
Yeah, I've got some 12% on tap, and it's a piment, and I got to put a warning on it because it's easy to drink. You can't tell it's 12%. For sure.
Yeah.
So it's honey's interesting as far as the different flavor profiles. In northern Michigan we do star thistle, we get some basswood, sometimes black locust and berry, but generally we combine all the honeys. But in Florida, there's so many kinds of honeys that they come. We're down in Florida with the honeybees. We leave Michigan for 3 months, but